In this video, I'm going to show you an extended version of the basic YouTube transcript from a URL that I showed previously. If you want to watch that, I'll pin it up in the corner. That way it would explain the RapidAPI transcripts here. But if you notice, this one has a bit more to it. So I actually have it go through and check for things along the way before it actually even gets over to the ChatGPT to do what I want it to do. Just before we start this, I want to show you the Google Sheet. So as you can see, I just have a pretty basic one, just a video URL, video topic, status, and a few different things I'm asking ChatGPT to do for me. So like a suggested title, suggested description, tags, thumbnail suggestion, and reminders. If you look over here, I threw in a few examples of things that wouldn't work. So like a google.com, for instance, not a YouTube link. This one is the video that I'm just referring to, that if we try to click on it, I can get to it because it's my account, but right now it's scheduled for future video. So this API will not have access to it. If you're going to use it like I do, you need to make sure it's either a public video or an unlisted. So I usually put it as unlisted, run this thing, update the information that I want to, and then switch it over to scheduled. And then for this video, it literally just is it's a short 15-second video of rain, and it doesn't have any words, so it should fail for no transcript. And then this last one is a valid one where it is my YouTube API video that's public and ready to go. So those are the 4 different scenarios that this will be able to account for, but it's going to fail on these 3. But I'll go ahead and run it so you can see how it goes. So the first one was Google, it failed down to here. The second one it tried, but it failed initially. The third one it failed again. Now this fourth one it's on right now, it's actually going through and actually doing the transcription to ChatGPT and everything. Now this one will only hit if there's something wrong with the API call. So like if your API key is invalid or you ran out of credits or the site is down. I actually had that issue this morning. The API wasn't responding at all, so I figured I'd throw it in. Why not? This does take a little bit of time. I am using ChatGPT 5 mini, which I can probably switch up to 4 and it'd be fine. There we go. So now it's all done. If we go back to the Google, we see all those different errors popping up. So the status is the error, and then no video ID for the URL, not transcript for the link provided. So again, this is scheduled. It needs to be unlisted for it to work. And then no transcript, no link provided. So this was for the video with just the rain. And the one that did work, it actually went through and generated a title, description, tags, thumbnail suggestion, and reminders. So reminders are just like if I mention in the video, like I'll include a link to this, blah, 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 blah. This catches up and has saved me a couple times. Let's go ahead and go through the workflow here so you can see what it's all doing. So for the schedule trigger, I just have it set every day at midnight. You can make it whatever time you want or just do it manually, whichever. For the get rows, I just have it set so it grabs from the YouTube info generator and then from the sheet 1, and then whatever status is blank, it'll grab those. In this case, it grabbed all 4. It's then going to loop through each one of those and go through all these checks to do what it needs to do as it goes. So the first note here adds the status to in progress. So like if it gets hung up somewhere along the way, you'll be able to see which one it was trying before. Then the next one, it actually is the same information from the previous video where it grabs the video ID from the URL you provide and has it over here. And if we go to this check, it literally just checks to see if the video ID is empty. And if you come up to here, there's a run, it'll show you all different versions of this as it went through. So like the first one was google.com. It didn't have a true because the video ID was blank. But the second one was my scheduled video. So it has a video ID, so it continued. The third one was the rain, and it continued because it had a video ID, so it continued. But if it failed, like the google.com, for instance, it goes down here and switches the status to error, and then you get the suggested title. That's where I just put it for the error code. Okay, so if it passes that, it then goes to the RapidAPI to get the transcripts when it can. So if we go back to the first one, it comes up saying no transcript. So for a reminder, the second one was the scheduled video. So because it's scheduled, it doesn't have access to it. It then continues, because it didn't fail, it still reached out to the API just fine. But if we come up here, go to 1 of 3, true, because the message was no transcript. So that would have been what this is checking for. So if it says no transcript, it's then going to go down the true path, which in this case is the error, which goes down here and updates the status with an error and no transcript found from link provided. Right, if all that proceeds, it then combines the transcripts into one big chunk, as opposed to all these little individual ones that you can see over here. And then sends it over to ChatGPT, which this obviously isn't the greatest prompt, but it does what I need it to do. One thing I did forget to mention, the topic. So where I was adding those notes here for like video topic, if you actually put in here like what the video is about, it will take that into consideration for these other fields. Like for instance, we scroll up a little bit, these are my previous videos I've done, and I say like, I show how to use this, I show how to do this. So it takes those into consideration when it's doing the ChatGPT stuff. And then the output is going to be the JSON. So then we can actually do something with it later. And then once it's done, it then updates the row based on the loop, and then puts in the suggested title, description, tags, thumbnail, and reminders. And then once it's done, it will just circle back through and go on to the next one. And then you could always put something up here, like once it's all done, like email you or something like that. But I don't really need to, so I don't. Just to show you real quick. So this was the video I was trying to use that was scheduled. If I switch this over to Unlisted, save, then I'm going to go Unlisted. If I go back to here, and if I delete these out so the status is blank, that's the key thing, remember. And if I run this again, it's not going to go through. Now, I didn't give it any kind of a video topic, so I'm not quite sure how this is going to go. I mean, it's not like it's totally dependent on that, but usually I like to at least give it some kind of general information about what the video is or what I'm talking about during the video. But anyway, as you can see, and now I was able to do that because it was unlisted. And just for curiosity's sake, I want to go into the ChatGPT node here, and I switched the model from GPT-5 to 4.1 mini. That's a lot quicker, and it doesn't need to be super fancy for what I'm trying to do now. So there should be plenty, plus it'll give us a reference to see the different outputs that 5 and 4 give us. Okay, so now this time it's going to go through with ChatGPT 4.1 mini as opposed to 5 mini. And we'll see if it's any quicker. Yep, much quicker. And then if you look, it's a bit of a different format. So it doesn't have like all this, what the quick links, the what you'll learn. So depending on your style, what you want to use it for, you can choose ChatGPT 5 or 4. I'm probably going to leave it as 4. So if you do end up copying and using this, you'll see 4 there instead. That's the workflow I use for every single one of my videos, because I'm not usually good with coming up with tags and descriptions and all that stuff. So this has come in handy, plus the reminders. A link to this will be down in the description for you if you want to check it out. If you have any questions or suggestions for a better ChatGPT prompt, leave them in the comments below. I'm sure others will benefit from it as well. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day.